Incoming transmission. Incoming transmission.
Data connection established. Syncing with host computer. Beaming information.
What's up, guys? This is Josh with Parks Rec RC, and today we're going to be going over the brand new 2019 Maxx. I did a night run on this, and I also did a pretty in-depth unboxing. If you guys want to go ahead and check those out, I'll put a link in the description. But I did a day bash, and unfortunately my phone did not record. So the only recording that I have is from the DSLR, and the only cameraman I had was Peyton, and he's 7, so he did the best he could. So I really hope you guys enjoy that video, which is not very lengthy. So just bear with me, guys, and there'll be more footage coming soon. One thing I want to talk about, what I did before I actually did that bash, was I went through all the diffs. I went through and put oil in all the diffs. I went through every one of them, front, rear, the center drive, all that, just to make sure that there was oil in them. I went and I did 100,000 oil, just a little bit, thicken it up. That way it would kind of make sure that everything was running good together. Some of the diffs were low, so if you guys are getting new Maxxes, just go ahead and tear it down and make sure that you check those, because that will cause, anytime you don't have anything lubricating, it's going to cause heat, and it's going to cause those diffs to go bad pretty quickly. I did the same thing in my X Maxx, and I'm doing that right now, as you can see in the UDR behind me. I also have some footage of the UDR, but I made a pretty simple mistake of forgetting to put some screws in. So one of the wheels came out with the axle on the rear end. So it was very short-lived, but it was pretty fun while I did that. Make sure, like I said, you go through there and do the diffs. Another thing that was a big thing with a lot of videos and a lot of things on the internet is the shocks. They're oversprung and underdampened. So whenever you're jumping, you're actually chassis out quite a bit, and it can cause some problems. It can cause some problems with your electronics on the inside. Any vibrations or major hits is going to cause things to come loose, break apart, whatever. So what I did before I did this bash was I went through and I put 60 weight oil in the shocks, and I went ahead and on the springs themselves and put them all the way up, that way that they wouldn't have a whole lot of preload already set on them. Didn't have any major issues with the bash itself. I think on one of the jumps I actually knocked one of the screws out of the hub carrier. It did not break, it just kind of flexed out, and that screw kind of popped forward a little bit. So I just took that screw out, put it back into the correct place, never had any more issues. But I did catch some awkward landings, and I did bend one of the shock shafts. So that's when my run kind of went, stopped, because I didn't want to break any arms or anything like that, just because it wasn't dampening anymore. So fixed that. I haven't fixed it yet, but I'm going to fix it. And I'm just going to take the shaft out and straighten it. There's no need to buy a new shaft yet, because it's not a big bend. It just wasn't allowing it to decompress anymore. So all in all, it really wasn't a great day for bashing. I thought everything was going to go really good, but it seems like everything that went wrong could have. I did not charge the X Maxx batteries, so didn't have any runs with the X Maxx either. But we had a little bit of fun, had a lot of awkward landings, which is what I wanted, just to see if that's something that's going to be a problem. If you're a new driver, sometimes you're not going to be able to make all those landings. The brakes are really, really stiff on this thing, so whenever you kind of go to correct in the air, it really overcompensates. So that may be something that you can go into the ESC and fix to kind of loosen that up a little bit. But everything else, it's still, the speed on it, the run I did was in 3S. It did really good. There's been some issues with the batteries. I have a few batteries here that fit just fine within the Maxx itself. I've got the Punisher series, which is from SmallAddictionsRC.com. That's their brand of batteries. You can get those. They're really inexpensive. They do have the Traxxas option, or you can get them in just about any end that you want. It's good quality battery and it runs really good. The other batteries I ran in, this is a 4S, and I did not run it in this batch, but I've ran it a few times on this 4S battery, which is Power Hobby. It runs really good on them. I do the XT90s connectors just because I think they hold up better. They handle the amperage that you're getting out of these, so like those a lot. And I also ran the Onyx batteries, also with XT90 connections. It does really good, solid battery. But all those do fit really good. No issues. They don't slide around or anything like that. I know some people that have like these Fluorion batteries and stuff, they're a little bit longer, maybe a little bit wider, and they don't fit as good. I did not run this car on a 2S yet. I'm sure it's going to be just as much fun, but I just wanted to kind of stick with a 3S because you can go up to 4S. There's a lot of videos out there that people are putting, 6S electronics, that you can ramp it up to 6S. In this car, my opinion, it's just too much power. Yeah, it looks fun. It's going to be, beating around on it, but you're going to have a lot of breakages. And I'm not saying that it's the build of the car itself. It's just, that's a lot of speed to put into a 1/10 scale car that's going to be a basher. If you're racing stuff like that, it's a little bit different, but to bash around, especially with the weight of this car, you're going to break a lot of things. So I keep mine 3S. Every once in a while, I will kind of splurge and do 4S, but 4S it's quick. It's really quick. So, but you can definitely hit plenty of big jumps and stuff like that. Stay tuned for the end of the video. Once I kind of show you just a little bit of what we did and kind of the awkward landings, and I'll give you my full opinion on everything. But at this time, I want to give out some big, huge shout outs to everybody. Everybody that's liked, subscribed, and comments. But I got a few in particular that I really want to put out there. You can check these guys out on Instagram, and they also, some of them have YouTube channels. So go and check them out. Give them some support. Everybody in the RC community has really helped me out a lot, whether it's me asking them questions, trying to figure out stuff. If it's a question that's maybe you guys have asked me and I don't know myself, I can ask them. There's a lot of things within the RC community that has just surprised me a lot. They have really supported me and give me a lot of advice, and I really appreciate that. I have one on here. It's LIL_Rustler_YouTube. Go in there and check him out on Instagram, and also check him out on YouTube. RC_Driver101. He has given me advice the whole time, that I have started. He's from Canada, and just the advice that he's given me on my videos and stuff like that, I really appreciate him. He actually sent me some footage of him running his X-Max, and I'm going to include that in this video. And that's another thing. If you guys want to send me stuff, send it to parksrekrc@gmail.com and just tell me who you are, and I'll go over the footage and maybe include that in some of my videos if you guys don't have YouTube channels or just don't want to do the YouTube thing. I think that's a good way to share and get people's names out there. Also, a huge shout out to 11Charlie_RC. He has an awesome program that they do for veterans. They do veteran builds. He gets a lot of sponsors. JJCUSTOMSLLC is a huge sponsor for them, and I want to give a shout out to him. Go check his store out. He does unboxings. You can actually hit him up on Instagram, and he will give you a lot of advice too if you have something about some breakages, or you want to know something about, I want to upgrade this and that. He can really help you out a lot. But 11 Charlie, they have a veterans build that they do for veterans suffering with PTSD. I'm a veteran myself, and I know for me, the hobby itself has been a great way to not only kind of escape a little bit of therapy for me, but it's also been a great way for me to kind of bond with my kids. We get out there and play and have fun, and most of the time they end up breaking something, but that's fine because that's part of the hobby. But definitely go on there and check him out. In his links down there on his YouTube channel, you should be able to see a GoFundMe account, and that GoFundMe it goes directly to these veteran builds. So please check them out. Support our soldiers. I think that we definitely need to support our soldiers, but we also got to support our veterans, because there's a lot of things that they're dealing with when they come back that it's hard to deal with, and this hobby can be a great way to kind of get them come back over here and distress a little bit. So definitely go out and check 11Charlie_RC on his Instagram, and check out his YouTube. There's another guy that has been awesome as far as comments. It's nuts_4_RCs. Check him out on Instagram. JJCUSTOMSLLC, like I said. Another guy that really helped me out whenever I first got started is Jakes_RC_family. He has a YouTube also. Check him out. He has some pretty cool stuff, just little fixes, and he gets his family involved with doing the RC runs. And I think that's what this hobby is about, is just having fun with family, friends, and whoever. I do want to give two huge shout outs to BOWEN. He does a lot of the A main videos. Contacted him just for some advice, and extremely down to earth, awesome guy. So thank you, Brett, for all the information and all the tips that you give me, because coming from someone that has been in this for quite a while, it definitely means a lot. And another guy that I'd really like to give a huge shout out to is Dante Bryant. He does the True Boys RC. There's a lot of stuff on there. He's got a lot of ARMA equipment, a lot of ARMA RCs, and he's extremely down to earth. He does some live YouTube streams every once in a while, and he uploads videos. Go in there and check him out, guys. A lot of his stuff is really good. It's quality, and he'll answer questions too. Both of these guys are really down to earth, and it just shows you how open the RC community is as far as wanting to support people. But like I said, stay tuned for the towards the end of the video, and I will do my opinion on the Maxx, and so you guys can kind of see if you guys want to go get that, or if you want to go different direction with the X Maxx or something like that. But I really enjoy it. So stay tuned for the video of me just kind of bashing the Maxx around and bashing the UDR for like maybe 3 minutes because I made a stupid mistake. But make sure you stay to the end, that way I can give you the full lowdown on everything that I think. kind of figure out what's going on with it. Right there has slipped off of the hub. You can see right in there. It slipped off of it. So let's take the screw out and get it back on there. What's up, guys? All right, I've bashed it around a little bit, kind of hit it up on the ramp over here some. Everything is fine with it, except I bent one of the shock shafts, so it won't decompress anymore. So I'm not going to jump it anymore because I don't want to break any arms just because of negligence on my behalf. But I'm going to let Peyton play around with it a little bit more, and I'm going to get the UDR out and we'll get some jumps with it. So hold on just a few minutes and we'll come right back. screws came out of it. Alright guys, thanks for watching that part of the video. You know, my opinion on the Maxx is it is a quality build vehicle. Anytime you have a ready to run vehicle, you're going to have stuff that you're going to have to do to it. I don't care if it's, you know, as simple as getting some you know, hardened spur gears and stuff like that. You're going to have to do stuff to it no matter what. These things are not going to be built. I mean, you can run them out of the box, but if you're wanting to go just a little bit farther into this hobby, you're going to have to do upgrades. Things are going to break. You know, this thing weighs 10 pounds, so you're doing some, I think I only got maybe up to 7 or 8 feet on my jumps. You're doing some of those big jumps and you get awkward lands, you're going to have some problems. You know, like I mentioned before, the only thing that I really had was the screw came out, you know, kind of flexed out a little bit of the hub carrier, and I just put that back in there, and I bent a shock shaft. No big deal. I may go back and put a little bit heavier oil in the rear, just because, you know, I still feel that it's really hitting hard on the chassis, which can cause a lot of things to go wrong within, you know, your electronics and everything. So I may get some different oil in there, maybe some different springs to put over the shocks to kind of see if how that goes. The only thing with putting springs in there like that is, you know, you can see on a lot of, maybe on my videos and other videos, that whenever it hits on the rear end, it's kind of springing up, and it'll cause you to topple over, which is, you know, just not a smooth landing at all. So you got to play with the suspension a little bit on this thing to kind of get it going. I know there's a few things in my comments of people saying that, you know, I was wrong about the servo not being better than the X-Maxx servo. This servo is better than the X-Maxx servo that comes in their stock. The 2085 servo that you get in the X-Maxx, which is plastic geared, is, I think, 365 ounce-inch of torque. The Max servo is 385, and that's plastic gears, ounce-inches of torque. So it is better. I tried turning the wheels. You know, you can't, obviously if the truck is off, you can hear it whining in there, it's going to turn. But once the truck is on and you try to turn those wheels, it's sturdy, and the only thing that moves is just you got your spring in there for the servo saver, which kind of gives it a little bit of flex to keep stripping everything out. So I'm telling you, the servo is pretty quality. I haven't seen anybody have any problems with it. The ESC seems to do really good. Haven't had any heat issues, nothing like that. And I've ran this thing, you know, I've put 2-3 battery packs straight through it without any real breaks, and it does really good with dissipating the heat. The fans on there are definitely quality. So I don't really have any major complaints. The only thing that I really wish that they would have done is on the arms, if they would have made the arms a little bit wider, because when you go to take those turns, you know, it's just kind of like the UDR that people complain about. The UDR, it flips over. And, you know, if the arms were just a little bit wider, or maybe put a little bit wider tire on there, that might solve the problem. I do have some Trencher X's that I'm going to put on there, and I'm going to see if that fixes the problem, which should actually fix a little bit of the springiness within the shocks too, just because it's got a thicker sidewall. The ones on it don't really have that thick of a sidewall, and it's not as absorbent. So I think the Trencher X's will do a pretty good job on there. May have to do a little bit of work or tweaking with the gearing on there just to get that set up right, but I'm going to try it standard gear and see how it runs. I know Brett had done a video on A-Main with them actually on there, and it looked really good. He said you'd probably have to cut a little bit out of the body, but you know, that's no big deal at all. So look forward to those videos of me putting those on there and doing some runs with it. I really want to give another big shout out to Small Addictions RC. They are the one that hooked me up with this car, with the pre-released version that has the the light kit and everything on it. So thank you to them. They're currently going through a move right now, and I think that their online sales are not up because they're moving to a new facility. But as soon as they get everything settled, their website should be back up, along with their stores. Everything that they have domestically ships for free. They also have split your payments up, like I mentioned in my other videos. You go through there, you get a Max, UDR, X Max, whatever you're wanting to get, and you put that, you pie it out into payments. That way it's a little bit easier on your wallet, to where you can actually, it's the way they call it, it's play now, pay later. So go in there and check that out. If you go in there and click on it, you can get you a Max for $529, maybe pick you up some batteries and a charger. Depending on what you're looking at. I have the it's the Duo, Venom Duo, which is an awesome charger. I can't recommend it enough. But if you get that, I think they have it on there. It's $100, and if you get maybe 2 of their 3S lipos, which are $49.95, you're looking at $529, $100 for the charger. You're at $629, and then if you get 2 batteries, you're at $729. So you pie that out, and it makes it a lot easier whenever it comes to paying for things, and it's over a 2-week span. They also have other financing to where you can actually, if you pay it within a certain amount of time, it's interest free. So check that out. That's what makes them different than a lot of other online stores. They're American owned company. You can contact them through Facebook, and you can actually call them up and talk directly to Chris or Jody about any information or any questions that you have. So make sure you go on there and check them out. I am also, this is an expensive hobby, and just nobody has to. Just if you want to support this channel, I'm going to put a link to my PayPal account, and any donations, I don't care if it's 10 cents, whatever donation you want to give, I'll be willing to put that in, and that doesn't go to me, it goes directly to these cars for repairs, possibly for new vehicles to come onto the channel. So if you guys want to do that, that's awesome. But there's still going to be content coming your way from me for a very long time. So we just recently broke the 300 subscriber mark, and I think that we're over like 7,000 some views or something like that. So that is all you guys, and I really appreciate that. Just like everybody else on YouTube, I started at 0, and we're 2 months into it, and we're over 300 subscribers. So that is you guys. I really appreciate it, and make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and definitely hit that bell, guys. That way you guys will be notified whenever I upload a new video. And don't just check your your suggestion videos. Go into YouTube and check your subscriptions. That way you can make sure that you see all my uploaded videos as well. But I really appreciate you guys, and I look forward to putting more content out for you. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Contact me on Instagram at ParksRecRCs. Contact me Facebook at ParksRecRC, and you can also send me an email at parksrecrc@gmail.com. And I really love hearing from you guys. I like answering all your questions or taking any suggestions. But once again, with the PayPal thing, I'll put that in my link below. And if you guys do feel like donating, whatever it is, I really appreciate it. Just like I said, it helps with the channel. And I will also do shout outs on that as well for anybody that does donate. But I really appreciate you guys. Keep watching, keep staying tuned, and keep having fun, guys. That's the biggest thing. Really appreciate it.